One.
Okay, everybody, and welcome back to the What Are You Saying podcast. Today we have same people from last time. We have
Eden,
Dream Team, boys.
Oh yeah,
Jonah. Hey.
Me.
Who are you?
Right.
Me, Louie. Hello.
Thank you, everybody, and me, Ella. So, first thing to discuss is how is everybody? It's been a while since we filmed our last podcast, and just want to see how everyone's doing. Theo?
Yeah, very good, thank you. It's quite crazy how fast time goes in lockdown. Like, I think Eden was telling me today that we've been in lockdown for 10 weeks?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Something like that, which is like crazy time. It's gone very, very, very quickly. Still very bored as usual, but now it's nice because you can see like one friend social distance or something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely one person 2 meters away in an outdoor space.
Yeah, of course.
Which
but yeah, that's what I've been doing, and yeah, I'm all right.
Very good to hear. Eden?
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, to be honest, when the weather's good, like everything's pretty fine. Like just sitting outside is chill, really. Yeah.
Yeah, great. What about you, Jonah? How's everything going with your making and building projects?
Yeah, it's good. Finished that a big time ago. Kind of got nothing to do now. Just kind of trying to stay active, play some football in the garden. That's kind of it, really.
Very nice, very nice. And what about you, Louie?
Hello. Yeah, I've been keeping relatively busy. Some of you may have seen put a little article out, but let's not go into that because you can read it yourself.
How can we read it?
You can read it online if you want to, or if you don't feel like reading it, that's also okay.
What's it called then?
So it's called I'm 18 in a period of nothingness, because that is what we are in right now, in between university and school ending. So it's very difficult for a lot of us to find stuff to do and have a purpose in life. So yeah, I was just sharing my views on that. Been seeing a few friends because the weather's been amazing, and relishing the fact that we can actually see people, which is, yeah, after 8 weeks it was really difficult not seeing my friends. So yeah, it's been improving.
Yes, I definitely think it's got so much easier now that you can actually see physically people who don't live in your house, and do a couple of more things like playing tennis and things, obviously at the social distance. Now, what else have people been getting up to? Theo was telling me earlier about his cooking adventures. Maybe we can hear about that?
Yeah, so today I'll be making some pita bread, which is very good. I was watching an Israeli guy on YouTube. It was very insightful and informative, so it made it easy to do. Apart from that, I have also been making some biscuits with chocolate chips inside, which are very good. It's very important to try and get the consistency correct. Like if it's too hard and it's just too crunchy, and it's like a school dinner's biscuit, and if it's too like
chewy,
yeah, chewy, then it just falls away and it's not nice. If you get the perfect combination, then it's good. Apart from all the sweet things, I've been making just like eggs for dinner sometimes. Just lots of different things, eggs, like omelets or fried eggs.
That's so creative.
Scrambled eggs, yeah. My cooking booklet isn't that big at the moment, but when it expands. But that's what I've been doing cooking-wise.
That sounds pretty good. Can you recommend people this if you know the name of the person making the pita? Because people at home might think, yum, I'd like some pita.
I shall post an update in the next Theories episode, because I'm not currently aware of his name, but I will not leave you in the dark.
Good, because I would probably quite like to try making that pita as well.
Yeah, of course. I'll send you the link.
Thank you very much. I think also at the moment, cooking with things that we haven't before, at least I've never really made dough and things, like making my own flatbread I made today. Put some olives in it and it was really lovely. That sort of thing, I think, having the time to just like bake really nice things and make nice things. Obviously very lucky that I can get all the ingredients and things, but it's really nice to have things that you properly made yourself, and enjoying them, I feel like, is even more enjoyable when you've made it and spent
100%.
time on it. What about you, Eden? I want to hear about your cooking, and then also, is there an update on your musical instrument, which I failed to pronounce last time?
Oh yeah. Well, my cooking, I've been making challah on Fridays, which has been pretty good actually. I'm getting better every week, so that's good. Yeah, sort of similar to Theo, just eggs and stuff, pretty boring stuff. But yeah, as for my well, I thought it was a bongo, but it's actually a djembe. What I was trying to make is called a djembe. But as for that, so I sort of gave up on that and then just ordered one online, which is sort of disappointing, but it is sick, so I'm quite enjoying just playing a proper djembe at home, which has been pretty good.
Well, that's really cool. And with the holla, I have a question, because I have been wanting to attempt this. Do you know how to do the plait? How do you do the 6-strand plait, or how do you?
Yeah, I do a 3-strand.
Shape your holla.
Yeah, I do a 3-strand, but the 6 is the boss one that I'm not quite at yet. Yeah.
Well, maybe you can.
Have you made challah before? Is that?
Well, no, but I've been wanting to, and thinking that I might get tripped up by the 6-strand plait, but I guess it probably works just as well with the 3-strand.
Yeah, try it. Yeah.
I think I will. What about you, Jonah? Any holla baking from you?
I've not done a lot of cooking, but I made some burgers for my family the other week with all sorts of like vegetables and try to make it look as fancy as possible. But I'm not really that much of a cook.
Well, that does sound really nice. I think it's nice to cook like meals for everybody around you in your house and things like that. I've definitely been making quite a few dinners. What about you, Louie?
I actually made a top class white chocolate and raspberry cheesecake, which Theo and Jonah had the pleasure.
It was very nice. I can admit.
Yes, no, it was very, very nice. Had to chill it for about 8 hours to make sure it sets properly, and yeah, it was incredible. But looking back on it, the price of the component ingredients must have been so huge. Maybe like £25 for a cheesecake. You would never ever pay that, but I guess you get the Louie touch when you cook it yourself. So it's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah,
what costs £25 in a cheesecake? Can I just ask?
There's loads of fruit, and we got green and black's chocolate, which it was like £2.50 per bar, and we used 3 bars. That's £7.50 alone just on the white chocolate. Then you got all the cream and the cream cheese, and yeah,
fair enough.
You can imagine it would add up very swiftly.
Yes, well, I think a lot of people are going to be making cheesecakes next week, seeing as it's...
Yeah, it was I believe Shavuot.
Yeah.
Yeah, good one, Ella.
On Wednesday. So I know I'm definitely planning on making some cheesecake then, but maybe I can get your recipe for the white chocolate one. That sounds really good. Really collecting recipes on this podcast today.
It would be my pleasure.
Thank you. I will have Theo's pitta, your cheesecake, and Eden's hollow recipe. So
what a feast!
What a feast!
And vegetables.
Jonah, can you tell us about your air fix? Because I was quite intrigued to know where you're up to on that.
Yeah.
So, as of a few weeks ago, when we last did this podcast, I was around halfway through finishing it off, and I've now finished it off. It's just a rocket essentially, but it looks good, and it's just up in my room. Looks good. Spent a lot of time on it. Very good for just getting through this lockdown and just focusing on something to keep your mind away from everything else. I'm gonna look into getting a new one to take up more time, but at the moment I've got nothing.
Jonah, firstly, it was your birthday last week, so happy birthday for that. Can you tell us how that was?
It was very different to any other birthday I've ever had. Not being able to really see my friends in the same way that I wanted to, and being kind of stuck in the house the entire time wasn't very fun. Yeah, especially not the way I expected to spend my 18th, whereas with all my friends going out for dinners and stuff and going around to my friends' houses was kind of the expectation. Obviously, I got to avoid all my exams and stuff, which would have been right around my birthday, but I think I've got to take what the situation is and just accept it, really.
Yeah, I feel like that is a good way to look at it. Talking of exams, would anyone else, I know by this point, because we all would be taking our A-levels this year, I would have already done, I think, one Tudor history paper and one politics exam, which is just so weird to think. It makes you really wonder, how has this actually happened? You know, we've been planning for these for so long. What are you guys thinking about that?
I would have done paper 1 psychology and paper 1 physics so far. So I would have had to have done a lot of work. So this has definitely saved me stress, but not a good situation, obviously.
Yeah, we're so brain dead compared to if we'd had exams. Like, instead we just sat here doing podcasts for the school, like, instead of revising.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, yeah, much rather. But it's we're brain dead.
Although there are obviously things to do that maybe are more enriching than just sitting at home revising would be. So I know I've been doing a lot more reading of books that I'd actually enjoy rather than just textbooks. I don't know if anyone has got any book recommendations, but personally,
Jonah?
I don't have anything on hand that I can think of, but if I do, I'll let you know in the next podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, we will be waiting out for that recommendation. Personally, I am currently nearly finished The Hair with the Amber Eyes, which is non-fiction, but it is just brilliantly written. And I usually don't like non-fiction at all, but I would really recommend it to anybody. It's also quite like very interesting history of Jewish families as well. So it does, relate. And it's also got amazing descriptions of artworks and things like that. So if you like art or paintings or about art history, I really recommend reading that.
No, that sounds good.
It is. And then, what about you, Aden? Any recommendations of things people should do that's kind of enriching their mind but not work?
Yeah, I've sort of been reading a bit, listening to podcasts as well. There's a lot of good stuff online, but as you know, it's quite difficult to sort of sustain interest in things. It's good when you can when you feel like there's something you genuinely want to learn about, rather than like sort of schoolwork, which is the opposite, or for me anyways. So in a way it is quite good that you can sort of research the sort of things that you're interested in.
Very interesting. And Louie, what about you? I know you're interested in economics and things like that. Any books about current economics or other things that you found interesting recently?
So at school we're doing some pre-university enrichment courses. We've been asked to watch some videos on some great economists of history, such as John Maynard Keynes. He's I don't want to bore everyone, so I'm not going to talk about what he does. We've been doing lots of stuff about that. Trying to keep busy because university is hopefully going to happen soon, so we've got to keep our brains ticking.
Yes, definitely. What about you, Theo?
I just finished a book called It's All in Your Head. It's about this thing called psychosomatic disorders. This is a psychology book, and it's where you have lots of different health issues, except nothing's diagnosable. So it's all mental, really, but you have all these crazy sort of symptoms, which is really uncomfortable. It's a really good book, and it's basically made up of different stories from loads of different people. So it's really, really interesting.
That does sound actually really good. And interesting that, people at home, if you're wondering what to read next, you can, or what to do next, you can, read a psychology book, watch an economics video. And now, anything else that people feel they would like to tell everybody listening at home? Any other things you've been getting up to? Theo, you said something about some really cool exercise you've been doing.
Yeah, I think I did a park really. Playing football. That's by myself or with my brothers. Yeah, that's pretty much it really. Just staying active. Went cycling with Eden today to the countryside, which was really fun. Still in London actually, but we've cycled for about an hour both ways, just north of where we live. And you just get put in this different sort of scenery completely. It's just fields everywhere you look. And it was really nice because it makes you think you're in somewhere like Germany or for somewhere like that, but really you're still in London. That's amazing.
That does sound really nice. And now, like, a really good thing to do is, get out and ride your bike, especially as you can at the moment. And I'm assuming there are fewer cars out there because, sometimes it can be a bit...
Well, actually, there were actually quite a few cars, although, like, not as many as I'm sure there would have been, but there were some really noisy drivers making their engines quite an inconvenience then. However, we ploughed through and still had a great time.
That is really good news.
Inspirational words.
Thank you.
It really is. Going out and doing things. Speaking of...
Although one moment was actually really scary. So me and Eden just entered the field, and then we saw this sort of dog-looking animal ahead of us, and we thought, well, it's not going to be a stray dog, and it can't be a fox. So we thought it was some sort of jackal. Like they often live in the African Sahara. However, we thought we saw a jackal, so we got quite scared. So then we do think it was some sort of day fox. But luckily we managed to avoid any conflict with the day fox. So
you didn't see it after that, actually. Sort of.
Yeah, I think it's saw us.
Yeah. Do you think it was all in your head, as the book would say?
No, we actually did see it, but I think we definitely scared it away.
Okay, well, they do say that coronavirus has led to many more, animal species thriving. So maybe it did come all the way from sub-Saharan Africa.
Maybe sure.
Speaking of travel,
he's in a crate like in Madagascar, and then it fell off the boat.
Speaking of traveling, Jonah, I've been told that you're planning a gap year next year. So we were kind of wondering if you could tell us about any vague plans you have, or what's happening with that, seeing as there's now, many more restrictions.
Yeah, I just plan to go to Israel for 9 months next year as part of a FZY course. It's at the moment it's still going to take place, and nothing's changed, but that's on the basis that nothing else gets worse or there's no second spike. It's all very much, if we do have to go there and it's still going on, we'll just take a 2-week quarantine, and as it's a 9-month program, we don't have to worry about wasting all of our time there, as the first 2 weeks, as we've been told, is more of an introduction to the entire thing. So that shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Oh, well, that's really good that it's still going ahead. And there's still some plans for the future and things like that can still be a really fun 9 months for you. A bit longer than 9 months, 10 years. We were thinking that we could ask everybody where they think they'll be in 10 years. Eden, why don't you start?
Probably the worst person to start with because I have absolutely no idea. I assume I'll have done uni by then, probably have a job, hopefully. But I have no idea in any more depth than that where I might be. Perhaps living here, maybe in Israel. But yeah, apart from that, absolutely no clue.
Well, you can listen to this podcast 10 years in the future.
Yeah, true.
And answer for yourself. Yeah. Louie, you were quite keen to bring up this topic. What are your grand plans?
Well, hopefully my leg will have been operated by then, so I'll be able to play football. Yeah. Finished uni. That would have been really fun, hopefully. Want to get a good job, hopefully bringing in enough money to provide for my family. If I have a family, I don't know. We'll see if I get lucky or I'm myself. But yeah, that's all.
Very, very interesting. Theo?
Yeah, similar to Louie, really. Hopefully I would have started at my job. Well, 10 years. No, hopefully I would be in my job and on a good path. And just, yeah, that has to be there. And then hopefully I'm just going to have all my friends still enjoy myself. I have to wait and see. 10 years time is a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very, very interesting. And what about you, Jenna? Do you think you will live? Sorry, go on.
Yeah, but like Eden was saying, like, who knows where I'll be living in 10 years' time, because like I might not even be in the UK. Maybe it'll be somewhere else. So I have to wait and see.
Yes.
It's a mystery. Jonah, what do you think you'll be doing? Do you think you will have built many more Airfix thingies?
I don't know. 10 years is a long time. I just kind of hope. All that I hope is that I get what I need from university. I get a job. I've got a family, and I've got good health. That's all I really want. So, in terms of looking into the next 10 years of where I'll be, I don't really mind where I'll be, and I don't really know where I think I'm going to be. I just hope I have certain aspects of what life can bring me.
Yeah, I feel like especially now it's kind of useful that, or maybe we've realised that carefully planning all of our, your life down to a T for the next 10 years isn't really going to work, because as this whole virus has shown, things come up and plans are made to change. So I think it's quite good that we're all looking quite open-mindedly in the future.
Did you say what you were thinking of, Ella?
Oh no, I didn't actually. Well, I, quite similarly to other people, am planning just to have, be thriving in my job. I'm in general planning maybe something editor-y. But other than
some
that,
writing notes.
Yes, I do quite enjoy editing things, logos, that sort of thing. So maybe something to do with that. But I feel like
I love
just kind of
logos.
work it out as we go along. Yes, you're really skilled at that. If anyone doesn't know, the logo was created by Louie for this podcast, and yeah, he was really good at taking suggestions and making it look really good. So we can thank him for that.
Thank you, Louie.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
If anyone else wants any other logos doing, I'm sure he'll be happy. If anyone else has been inspired to make their own podcast or their own thing in quarantine, just send a DM to the Muzzle Hushel Instagram. Louie will be on there. Okay, so I think that is most of what we have time for today. I'm sure this has been a great insight for all you listeners at home. And we will be back probably with another What Are You Saying? And I hope that everybody has enjoyed. Any closing statements from anybody?
Just want to say, make sure you keep looking at the Shul Instagram stories, because there's going to be a new skill tutorial featuring soon.
Yeah,
and you don't want to miss that.
Informative. I needed to know.
Good.
Yes, we will be constantly having great things on that Instagram account, so I'm sure you'll all be active on there. And this is then goodbye from me, Ella, and goodbye from
Theo. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye from me, Eden.
Bye from me, Louie.
And bye from me as well, Jonah.
Goodbye.